YouTube and Facebook. I hope that everyone can hear me, that everything is working. I guess I'll find out when I'm done. I don't see it on my page, but it should pop up that I am live. So I want to talk about a really delicate subject here that a lot of the spiritual community has really been avoiding, and really bypassing. And I have a beautiful yellow canary that is sitting here on my balcony. I have really been going back and forth. Should I come on and talk about this? Because this is really a delicate subject, and a lot of people don't really want to face what is happening within the spiritual community. But I have really been thinking about this. I have been journaling about this, so you might see me look. I've got some notes that I've placed alongside of myself here, because I think it's really important that we understand what is happening and the truth of what is happening within the spiritual community. And when we put so much pressure and value and godlike energy on a human being, because we as humans are humans. We are here for an experience. And when we come in with woundings, with trauma, things that happen to us, this creates the shadow aspect within ourselves. Now that's not to say that anything that is happening is okay. It's the opposite. And I have very strong opinions about this. I have posted a couple of videos on my YouTube channel for anyone that is interested in that, about the anger that is coming forward within this, and how a lot within the spiritual community are basically bypassing it and ignoring it, saying, oh, it's all love and light, and we just need to accept things that are happening, and that the universe doesn't see dark and light. Well, yes, the universe does actually see that in the way that we are talking about it today, because we are talking about a wounded darkness, and a wounded darkness is very different from the sacred darkness of creation. And we are getting those things really mixed up and really bypassing the energy that is happening here within this spiritual community, and how incredibly important it is for us to address that, and for us to realize that we are being invited to move into a more honest relationship with ourselves, where we are trusting ourselves instead of idealizing people that we follow. Because when we begin to follow people that, they're human. Let's be honest about it. They're human. And a lot of times temptation is just too much. And when we come from a wounding, we can be drawn into that energy with our, imperfectness that we are born into here. Thank you for joining me here today. Those of you that are joining me, I so appreciate each and every one of you. I love you all, and I can say that I love you all. However, I am very discerning with the energy that is happening around. You can love someone and not just accept the things that are happening here. We shout out to Anis. I don't know who you are, but Anis Islam. Hey Cindy, welcome. I'm seeing some things come up. So I'm going between two different videos that I have here, one on Facebook and one on YouTube, because I can't get my camera to coincide both of them at one time with only one stream. And I'm not willing to really work on that. Spirit wanted me to come on here today and to really talk about this in earnest, and how incredibly important it is. I posted one of my videos that I did a couple of weeks ago, where Spirit literally brought forward at about a half an hour in, after they had given me all these major arcana cards. They posted that something was going to be happening that was going to be shocking, surprising, and was going to really shake us up. Well, I think that has happened. And I don't typically do I don't like to do those kind of things, actually. It is not what I feel is within my wheelhouse. You know, I like to be here more talking about love and bringing more joy and the realization that we really can create our world. We can create our inner world, and we can sit within that world, but we still must be aware that there are things that are happening in the outside world that are far beyond our control. And those that want to just say that it's okay, and that, you know, if we're not in alignment, we're seeing that, in my opinion, is full of shit, because there is still things that are happening in this world. We are within a physical world, and those things are going to be happening regardless of what the alignment that we have within us. Now, the alignment that we have within us, we can still feel the anger, we can feel all those things that we want to feel towards all these things and all these people that we have put on pedestals. But it's whether or not we allow it to consume us. Are we, going to, spew anger and hate, or are we going to allow that fire to ignite beneath us and begin to put forward healing within the world? We are not going to just accept this and say, oh, that's okay because it's all love and light. No, it's not. It's not okay. It is not okay. And it is not okay. And people that are bypassing this would not say it was okay if it was their son, their daughter, their brother, their sister, their mother, their father. They would not say it is okay. But when we look at something at a distance and we say, oh, it's okay because in the spiritual community everything is love and light, we are not living in a conscious reality. And for us to say that everything is illusion and that these things do not affect us is what that is doing. And yes, I am a spiritual teacher, but I believe in realism as well. I believe that there are things that are happening around us that we are here to integrate and transmute. There are energies here that we are transmuting. Hey, Tara. That we are transmuting as healers, as teachers, as gurus, as those within the spiritual community. And when we say it's okay for these things to happen, that it's all happening, within love and light, we are sending out the wrong message. I'm sorry. If you don't like this, see ya. But we are sending out the wrong message when we are saying that these things that are happening are okay. They are not okay. They are not okay. But we need to understand the energy that they are happening from. They are happening from trauma. They are happening due to distorted energy. And we are here to be able to bring healing within that distorted energy. When we don't address that, when we just bypass it and say, oh, it's okay, that these things are happening, that we are forgiven. Well, we may be forgiven for it, but there are consequences. Otherwise, the world that we live in is in upheaval. It is in upheaval. And that is not what we are here to do. We are here to be able to move through this physical form and create a world where we can experience wonderful things. Yes, we have sadness. Yes, we have sorrow. But when we are creating from pain, from suffering, we are creating distortion within this world. And those of you that are in this world that are healers, we feel a deep responsibility here to be able to heal. And we must start with ourselves. We must start with ourselves. And the spiritual leaders, the gurus that are leading from an unhealed position are not helping the world, because the energy that is moving through them is distorted. It is not integrated. We have not integrated that energy. And I may not be speaking very eloquently here today, but this is something that is very, very close to my heart. It is something that is important. It is something that I speak with experience. And I know very well that if this was happening within your family, to your family, that there would be a much larger opinion. And we must begin to consider the human race as our family, as our brothers and sisters, that we see them as our family. Because when we begin to see everyone as that, that is when we can make a difference. But when we see it as removed from ourselves, it becomes not as important. It's like, oh, we'll just shut it out. No, we'll shut it out. 1044, the chosen. We choose to come here to make a difference. We are on the path of our blueprint. And many people will tell you that know me, that I'm not typically the person that speaks out, so much against things, as more I have spoken for love, teaching love within my teachings. But when we begin to bypass this, and I have watched this, I've seen this, to where people say it's not ours to carry. So who's going to carry it? It's not ours to carry as a trauma, but it is ours to recognize. It is ours to transmute. It is part of our past. It is part of our history, of our ancestors. We carry that. We carry that within our DNA. And it is time that we began to do something about it, that we began to speak up about it, that we began to talk about it instead of hiding it. Oh, we'll just pretend it didn't happen, and then it's all okay. Okay, well, let's live within a fantasy world that we like to believe that we're living in here, that this is all an illusion and a dream. It may well be an illusion that we have an infinite life, an infinite soul, but do we want to live within that illusion or reality while we are here, where it's okay for those things to happen? It's not okay for those things to happen in my world. It's not okay. And I actually wrote something here that I wanted to say when I came on here. And I wrote it down because this is something that is really emotional for me. And yes, I am sending out love, and I am sending out healing to all those that are involved in there. And that includes everyone. That includes the predators, the victims, the survivors. All of them, because they all need it. They all need the healing. But am I saying it's okay that it happened? No way am I saying it's okay. I am not. I will send love, but it is not okay. This matters. And when we begin to cover this up like we have, and this is not the first time this has happened, we're talking about spiritual community, but also within the religious communities. We have covered that up, things that have happened within different churches and things as well. Oh, that's okay. We'll just cover it up and pretend like it didn't happen. No. It is not okay. It is not okay. So I'm going to read what I wrote about, and I've probably lost everybody that's on here, and if that's the case and you want to pretend like this isn't happening, you go right ahead and pretend like it isn't happening in your world, if that brings you peace and if that helps you to sleep at night, that nothing is going on in the world that is bad. But we are coming to a point where we have to start to recognize these things, and we are not going to focus on it, but we are going to focus on the healing of it, bringing healing into it, because that is what we are here for. We are here to bring that light into the planet. But when we close ourselves off and we say, "Oh, we're going to pretend it's not going to happen," we are leaving that light within our own little bubble, and we are not spreading that. We are not transmuting the darkness, and we are here to shine light into the darkness so that it can awaken. So let me read what I had written here, and then I got so much into this because I'm a passionate person. This is what I wrote that I wanted to say when I came on here. I'm not going to pretend this isn't disturbing. When spiritual leaders are involved in harming others, that's not a small thing. It's not a misunderstanding. It's a breach of trust, and it needs to be addressed. not spiritually bypassed. But I also don't believe this means spirituality itself is false. It means human beings can speak about love and still be operating from unhealed places. Knowing the language of consciousness is not the same as embodying it. And when someone is put on a pedestal without real accountability, things can go sideways. If you're feeling shaken by this, that makes sense. It's confusing when someone who teaches light acts in a way that are clearly not aligned. But maybe this is less about spirituality failing and more about us learning that no one is above responsibility. To me, being spiritual doesn't mean avoiding anger or pretending everything is divine. It means telling the truth. It means protecting people who are harmed. It means holding compassion and consequences at the same time. Maybe this is an invitation to be more honest and less idealistic about the people we follow. And I was channeled a long time ago, and it's been, anybody that follows me knows this, and you can check out my videos if you are so inclined. But I've been told over the last 6 months to a year to be very aware of the energy that is surrounding those people that have thousands and millions of followers. Because it is very easy to become corrupt. It is very easy to begin to feel that power and to misuse that power, because we are human, which is why forgiveness is imperative, but so are consequences. There is no one here that didn't know what they were doing, that were not aware, other than the innocent. And until we begin to start to trust our own instinct, our own gut, when we begin to feel in to what we feel is right and true for us, we can be led down a dark alley. We must become our own source. We must begin to trust how we feel when we're around certain people. When we spend time with someone, or when we just don't like the energy when we walk into a room, when we feel uncomfortable. Know yourself. Know your feelings. Know who to trust. Know what is truth. Just because somebody that has 1 million followers tells you something is truth, doesn't mean it is. Doesn't mean it isn't. It doesn't mean it is truth. It doesn't mean they are following it. It doesn't mean that they are that. Just because they are mouthing it doesn't mean they are living it. And this is something else that I was told, to walk your talk. You will know truth by what you are walking, by how you are walking, by how you respond. That is how you will know who is true. What triggers you? What are you feeling? Because you are here to feel. You are here to feel. Okay? So when we stop feeling, when we just begin to say, oh, everything is just one thing, we are completely missing our experience that we are here to have. Because we are here to experience. We are here to feel. We are here to become that. To know who we are. Many civilizations have fallen because they have followed blindly someone in power. The misuse of power. And we have witnessed that over and over and over again. So when are we going to step into our own power and trust our own authority of who we are? When are we going to begin to have accountability and responsibility? We are responsible for who we are. But yet we follow blindly down a dark alley because so many other people believe the same things. We're, oh, that must be true. Look at how many followers they have. Look at how many people listen to them. Oh, they're a big star. They must be right. Look at all the other people that are believing them. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You know. You know. When that message came out, when I came on live a couple weeks ago, when Spirit asked me to come on live, and I was like, oh shit, I wasn't feeling very good. But I came on anyway. Hey, Melanie, sweetheart. Norma, welcome. I wasn't feeling very well, and Spirit said, hey, you're coming on. And the cards that came out, all the major arcana, and then they brought me the channeling that something surprising was going to happen, that was going to shake us up, to wake us up, to begin to recognize that we must become our own authority. We cannot follow blindly. Trust how someone makes you feel. And I know in the spiritual community, nobody can make you anything. No, they can't. So when you're feeling a certain way around somebody, that should tell you. That's your little spidey senses. Because they can't make you anything. But there's something within you that already knows. You know. When someone speaks the truth, you feel it. You feel it within you. And you can't deny it. Well, you can. Because we deny stuff all the time, don't we? Pretend it doesn't happen because it's easier not to know. We pretend that everything is full of fluff and all is well. But in order for us to rise, we must heal this energy, this distortion, because that's what it is. It's a distortion. It's trauma-based. And when people are suffering, when they're in pain, they will do things to try to ease that pain. We all carry some form. So we can relate with pain and suffering. We can relate with that. But when we recognize that we have that pain and suffering within us, we are then responsible to heal that within ourselves and to not inflict that on others. Because the old saying goes, misery loves company, and that is true. Misery does love company. When someone is not feeling well, they sure want everyone else. My throat is beginning to go. Somebody's trying to make me shut up. Good luck with that. Just kidding, you guys. So when you are feeling that, allow yourself to feel it so that that can come out of you and that it can be healed. Because we must heal it. The trauma that has happened, the trauma within the land itself that is held, the trauma within generations of people. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear about this, and especially in the spiritual community, we want to pretend that everything is love and light, and that there is no negativity. But we've been fooling ourselves for a very long time here. We want to project that love and light, and we want that to be within us. But we have to be realistic in the knowing that it's not all that out there in the world. There's a lot of pain and suffering. There's a lot of healing that is needed. And when we ignore it and pretend that it doesn't happen, we're not doing anything to fix it. And I'm not saying you have to jump into the center of it. But recognizing it rather than ignoring it because we're afraid of the implications of it, because of what we've seen. Because we don't want to recognize that the world can be a scary place, because it can be. I'm not going to lie. It can be a scary place. But it's going to get a lot scarier if we don't begin to heal all of this trauma. And if we don't begin to trust ourselves and stand within our own authority for what we believe in. You are your own source. You are your own God. God lives within each one of us. And we just entered the year of the fire horse. And it is igniting, inspirational. And it lights a fire under our ass. And I guess that's what happened to me. Because I typically don't do these kind of things, especially live. And I'm going to tell you guys, I went to try to put some things on and I recorded them. And when I went to listen back, I have a really good mic and everything. Nothing worked. It was just like across the whole thing. Spirit said, no. You're going on live. You're not going to script this. You're going to go on live and you're going to talk to people live through your heart. Because that is where we connect. That is the energy that we understand. Is at the heart. That is from our connection, our center, our gateway to the cosmos, our gateway to one another. Someone asked, where are you from? I'm from the stars. I'm from many places. It's funny you call me grandmother too, because I've also been really asked to embody the mother energy, which really talks about the nurturing as well, the nurturing and the loving, the protection that we have, within society, to be able to protect the vulnerable, the innocent. And we all hold a bit of that responsibility, and I feel really passionate about that. Hey, Ronnie, honey. Hey, Marion, I hope you're doing well. And I just really want to put that out there that, ignoring what is happening in the world is not a solution. It's not a solution. We don't want it to consume us and consume every part of us. But we do want to recognize that it exists. Because when we recognize that it exists, we have the ability to transmute it. When we recognize it, when we see it. When we see that darkness, we shine light upon it. When we shine light upon it, it can't hide. And that's why you're seeing a lot of this coming to the surface, because light is being shone. And that's what we want. 2929, 1111. So continue to shine your light in a world that isn't always kind. And if we pretend that it is, we're fooling ourselves and we're fooling everyone around us. There is so many things that are happening within the world that are not acceptable. And we need to really take a moment to send that love into the world to heal it. So I really invite you to do that, to really send out that love, and to also ask for that for yourself, for healing for yourself. Because those that are pretending that it doesn't happen are hurting. And that needs to be healed. So call in source love into your body. So that you can emanate that love. But it doesn't mean you don't have to be angry. Spiritual community so often sees anger as a negative, and it's not a negative. Sacred anger lights the fire underneath us to make changes. And changes are needed. So allow yourself that. It's not an anger that wants to destroy, it's an anger that wants to create. Wants to create a better structure, a loving structure. Wants to create fairness and equality. And when we begin to put our gurus above us, that's not equality. That's not equality. It should be eye to eye with any teacher. And if anybody puts themselves above you, that's a flag. It's a big flag. Nobody is above you. Nobody is beneath you. That is what we talk about in the spiritual community. That is the equality that we talk about. Okay? We walk alongside of one another. Some of us are more enlightened than others. Some are more awakened. Some are more traumatized than others. Some are acting through those traumas. Some are healing those traumas. Some are helping heal those traumas. Some have healed them and are helping others to heal them now. But we are all walking side by side. And the moment we put ourselves at a different level than someone else, above or below, is the moment when we lose that humanity. We are all created equal. So stop putting anyone above you or below you. It's important to recognize your equality. They're having me do codes, isn't that interesting? They're having me put in different light language coding because I'm not speaking light language. 3333, the Ascended Masters are here. And there are many Ascended Masters, and I actually talked about this in a recording that I did on my YouTube channel, actually. Those of you that are on my YouTube, if you want to join, please feel free to. I would love to have you within the community, or following my Facebook. I'm on my personal page today, but you can definitely find my business page and follow me there if that's something that you would like to do. And I talk about a lot of that as well. Like we talk about the Ascended Masters being full of love. They were full of love, but it wasn't because they avoided what was happening around them. Okay? They went through grief. They went through trauma. They didn't bypass it. They went through it. And that's what we're being asked to do. Okay. I feel like I'm being preachy. And I don't want to be preachy, but I want everyone in the spiritual community to know that it is okay for you to be angry. Doesn't mean you're not spiritual. Doesn't mean you're not full of love, which is what a lot of people would like to believe. Oh, I can't judge. There's a difference between judging and discerning, okay? When you see something that is happening in front of you that is unjust, of course you're going to recognize that. Of course. Doesn't mean you're not ever going to see anything that is not negative. And it doesn't mean you're just going to accept it as love and light, because it's not. You're going to be discerning. And you're going to say, okay, that person is sitting in deep trauma. They definitely need healing, whether it be obviously mentally, right? They need healing. They need help. But it also doesn't mean that you're just going to, say, oh yeah, I'm going to be the first one there to, face. No, you're probably not. Right? So it's okay to be angry. And that's why I'm on here today, because it's okay to be angry. It's okay to discern that energy. We're not here to just accept. We're here to discern. We're here to find ourselves. Hey, David, welcome. Hey, Sarah, welcome, honey. Maureen, I see you, sweetie. Anna, thank you guys for joining me. I so appreciate it. So if you are questioning yourself for how you are feeling in this energy, stop questioning yourself. Because if you're questioning yourself, you're awake. You're on the right path. If you're questioning, why am I angry? It's because you hold love in your heart. That's why you're questioning it. But if you're just completely ignoring it, that's a flag. Take a look at it. Because the absence of light is pure darkness. That is unconsciousness. Okay? So it's not about saying it doesn't exist or it's all love, because it's not. It's not. It is distorted, broken, traumatized energy that is acting out in this physical world. So stop ignoring it and saying that, oh, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be uncovered. It wasn't supposed to be happening in the first place. Okay? So when we say this is happening with deep purpose, it means that it's coming into the light with deep purpose. Okay? So that it can be healed. Thanks for coming on, Ronnie. That's the purpose. So it can be healed. All right. There are certain things that can happen within the path that we walk because we are unhealed, because we are traumatized, because we are here, because we have experienced these things. But there's always a choice. There's always two ways. There's never only just one. There's always two, because we always hold a choice, right? And just because something happens doesn't mean that the divine is bringing that in. That is distorted energy when those things happen. And it comes into light to be healed. The purpose is healing. Purpose is always healing. The purpose is always love. It doesn't mean the darkness was. It means bringing it into the light is. Okay? So I don't know how anybody feels about this. A lot of people are afraid to talk about it. We've got so much of that happening where it's like, oh, I don't want to, I don't want that around me. Well, clear yourself. Cleanse it, okay? Cleanse the energy within you, knowing that you are healing it, and ask for cleansing. within that. And then release all of those attachments from you so that you again can find your center, your joy, and your love. Okay? So please be kind to yourself. Please, don't turn on yourself because you're judging. Don't turn on yourself. And don't turn on the spiritual community and say, oh, it's a bunch of shit. These people that were preaching that. Just remember, they're people. Okay? Traumatized people. It doesn't mean spirituality is not real. It does not mean that love is not real. It does not mean that there are not people out there that are walking their talk, because there are. It just means that people are human, and sometimes trauma kicks in. And it happens. Sometimes it happens out of fear. People sometimes are coerced into things. Sometimes they are threatened into things. There are many, many reasons that we don't know. But we're not going to turn our head away and say it didn't happen. We're going to face it and we're going to heal it. Okay, and really sending that healing out, into the earth, because it really, really needs it. And all of the people need it. So, you guys, I thank you for coming on here with me today. I welcome your comments, your messages, your love, your thoughts, your concern, your discernment. And I send you love. And I send love to all those that have been affected, all those that have been involved, regardless of what level that was at. May we all learn from this. May we all become better because of this. May we all learn to recognize our own energy, our own feelings, our own gut instinct. Because you know. Trust your heart. And don't turn away because you think that it's not loving to be discerning, that it's not loving to be angry, because it is. It is loving to be angry for those that were harmed. Of course it is. So be that. Not in hate, but in pain, so that you can transmute that energy for them, because they need a lot of help. We need a lot of help. All right, beautiful souls. I'm gonna go off. I could continue to get on to talk about this because I'm very passionate about it, and I just feel so much pain in my heart. And I'm going to go into meditation. I will be coming on to do more lives as I am guided. And I hope you will join me in this circle of love to transmute this energy in recognition of what it really is. All right. Till next time, please remember to always let love be your guide, because that is what you are. Now, if I can figure out how to turn all my devices off, we'll be laughing. Let me see here. Are you sure you want to stop? Yeah, I'll stop.